Travis Wayne Goodsell. I guess I will do another video today, as I don't know, the day is ending, and that's another video topic. But this video, I thought I'd go over people excommunicated by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's how Wikipedia titles it. They don't say Mormons excommunicated, they say people excommunicated. So, to start with, I'm not excommunicated. I'm still technically Mormon, but I no longer attend church. I no longer I know, so here's a testimony for you. I know the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is false. Not just false, but terroristic. Literally. Terroristic. Old school terrorism, not this new Islamic terrorism or white supremacist terrorism, but white supremacist terrorism also originates from it. And so, as a result, you're probably saying, well, why don't you just go to your bishop? I want nothing to do with my bishop. I'm not going to fill out some paper, please. You know, by not signing the paper and not being a part of the church, when the church goes around the world and gets a temple built, they have to get certain financial approvals, and they have to show that they can financially take care of it. Well, that involves membership numbers. Oh, we've got so many members, 16 million members. Yeah. Well, it's financial fraud. So I'm more than happy to add up the criminal charges against the church if they're going to pull this kind of a stunt. So anyway, Wikipedia page has them alphabetically listed, and you have to click on each of the links to find out more about them. It's just a list of the names, and there's quite a number who have been excommunicated. So I'll rush through these, cover highlights. George J. Adams. They call it leader of a schismatic. When you throw in an adjective, you're trying to influence the reader. So schismatic sounds like it's a bad thing. And then they go Latter-day sect. So again, they're trying to be biased here, as the church obviously had an influence on this. You know, they're not the Orthodox Church, therefore they're wrong. Who led an ill-fated effort. Again, you can't put those words in. But yeah, the church loves to put those kinds of words in there to show their religious bigotry and cover up the true history of the church. But weeding out all of the adjective rhetoric, he decided to take his followers to Palestine and there have a colony of Americans in Palestine in preparation for the second coming, which I guess he assumed was going to be in Jerusalem and not America. And so he was a part of the first presidency of the Strangites. Maybe he was fleeing the country because he was part of the assassination of James Strang. Gotta go. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because James Strang, if you didn't know, took popular Mormons out to an island in Bath, Michigan, and then when he got them there, he said, "Oh, okay, now we're going to start polygamy." And he was then immediately assassinated. And nobody knows who did it. I don't know. He's dead. Oh well. I guess we'll go back to our regular lives. So, here's Janice Merrill Allred, is an excommunicated, obviously, theologian, writer, and Mormon feminist, Mesa, Arizona. Part of the Allred family, I would imagine. Because here's Owen Allred, the Apostolic United Brethren, fundamentalist polygamist. And I was never taught this growing up in the church, that the reason these fundamentalist groups formed in the first place was because Wilford Woodruff did the official declaration and stopped polygamy. And so there are a number of Mormons who said, no, polygamy is of God. Brigham Young said so. John Taylor said so. So, yeah, they thought that Wilford Woodruff was a pansy and for not fighting America and defending God's true polygamy. And so they went and formed their own. And thus Warren Jeffs and blah, blah, blah also emerged from that. Lavina Fielding Anderson. I don't see the name slips my mind. They're in the news lately for slaughtering their children and spouses so that they can usher in the second coming. Daybell. Yeah, Daybell's not listed here. So they haven't updated this. Lori Vallow, I'm guessing, yeah, she's not in here either. So it's not updated. Lavina Fielding Anderson, feminist. See, the church just loves to put that in there, because the church prevented the Equal Rights Amendment as one of the states that withheld, as everybody was falling in line, and you know, women would then be equal in society, no longer slaves and handmaids with red letters on their chest. But nope, church said nope, can't have that. Women might get to thinking and stuff. If you've seen Beauty and the Beast. Gaston. Nathaniel Baldwin, an inventor of the improved telephonic earphone. Wonder if that was the device used for Wilford Woodruff on his last testimony, that the other brethren said, no, you can't say that, we're doing it over. Here, read this. And then confessed that Joseph Smith's temple endowment was not the ceremony of the ordinances and the death threats and all that other stuff. It was just laying on of hands, washing and anointing. That was it. And so that's evidence for Joseph's temple not being the same as ours. And other inventions. Well, it sounds like he had the Spirit. He's inventing things. All truth comes from God, right? So why is he getting and a supporter of the early fundamentalist movement, Mormon fundamentalists? Is that the same as the polygamous fundamentalists? Doesn't say. Might have to click on it and go to his page. Martha Nibley. Nibley? The Rambling Nibley fame? Martha Nibley Beck is an American author, life coach. Yeah, get rid of her. Arthur Gary Bishop. Life coaches They tell you how you should live. That's how they life coach. It's all a scam. Stay away from them. All the self-help books and the life coaches and psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists and counselors. No. Don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. Know what you want to pursue, and then seek out those with information about how to pursue that. Big difference. So don't get mad at me for... Alright, so Arthur Gary Bishop, sex offender. Serial killer. Yay! Another serial killer. That's great. The church just breeds serial killers, because we've got more here on this list. John Holm Blackmore. My goodness. Tall man. School teacher and principal. The Social Credit Party of Canada. Political party in Canada. Promoted the social credit theories of monetary reform. So why did he... it's an old black and white photo, so most likely from the early 1900s, from the way the suit is designed. J. Leslie Broadbent, religious leader in the early stages of the Mormon fundamentalist movement. And Fawn Brody, we all know her, wrote the book. John DeLynn emphasizes her over actual investigative first-hand source material. Jason Derek Brown, American fugitive, first-degree murder, armed robbery in Phoenix, Arizona. Yay! November 29th, 2004. So not too long ago. Brown allegedly shot and killed an armored car guard outside a movie theater, and then fled with the money. He most wanted, I guess, is what they were about to say on December 20, 2007. Huh. And Art Bula, founder of the Church of Jesus Christ, a schismatic sect organized in 1983. Isn't this in conflict with President Nelson with domain names? Or did they kill him? I gotta click on this guy. Converted to Mormonism around 1970. Early 1980s, he began teaching other Latter-day Saints that he was the one mighty and strong. Yeah, because it's not the leaders of the church. And that Joseph Smith Jr. prophesied would come to set the church in order. Oh, the resurrected Jesus Christ theory. Yeah, some people were telling me about this. Dum 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 dum. In 1983, Bulla organized the Church of Jesus Christ of Church of Jesus Christ in Salt Lake City. He also is apparently still alive. They don't have a death date for him. He acted as the editor of the church's newsletter. So, Zion's Messenger and Advocate. Yeah, and taken from the Messenger and Advocate. He was interviewed in the Anti-Mormon movie. See, they just... God Makers 2. When you put that in there, you just have to say was interviewed in the movie The God Makers 2, that pointed out some interesting things about the church. Or, well, you can't say interesting either, you just said which dealt with the church, but instead they had to make sure it was anti-Mormon. See, anti-Mormonism is discrimination, persecution, hostility, or prejudice directed against. No, it's not. See how the church has done this? Dear God. No. If you're anti-something, that means you are opposed to what they do. It doesn't mean you're hostile, or what were some of these other things? Prejudice, discriminate against. No. See, I can say that the church is anti-me. So, or they're anti-ex-Mormon. It's just lame when people put out these things. So, yeah. So whoever he was. And then Ted Bundy. Yay! Mormon. Theodore Robert Bundy. Good Mormon boy. Nice clean haircut. Most likely he served a mission, didn't he? Oh, man. Yeah. David Gaunt said he sat next to him at the library and had a conversation with him way back in the day, before he was found out about. Frank J. Cannon was the first United States Senator from Utah, served from 1986 to 1899. Yeah, because territories don't count. John Q. Cannon. Editor-in-Chief of the Deseret News. General Authority, yeah. So this was a big deal. Served as a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army during the Spanish-American War. So what did he get excommunicated for? General Authority and Controversy. Yeah, oldest son of George Q. Cannon. The one most expected to follow in his blah blah blah. Don't tell us that. That's not news. At age 27, called to serve, second counselor, presiding bishopric. 1884, became a general authority. A sensationalized news story by Joseph Lippman in the Salt Lake Tribune. Oh, that anti-Mormon paper that I think is now owned by the church. I think the church now owns all the news in Utah. Alleged that Cannon had taken his wife's sister, Louis Wells, as a plural wife. Okay. Lippman, well, yeah, they were supposed to be done with that, weren't they? Cannon and Wells had been married in the Logan Temple. Oh, with the inverted pentagram. Yay. Because you know it's Jesus' church when you have an inverted pentagram on your temples. There had been no such marriage. In fact, there had been no such marriage. Who put that in there, Mormons? Let's see number 4 here. Oh, here we go. Kenneth L. Cannon II. Oh, gee. So a family member said he was framed. Oh, Cannon punched Lippman and beat him with a whip. Yeah. Cannon pleaded guilty to the assault and paid a small fine. Slap on the wrist. Well, if that's all it takes. Cannon was the city editor for the Deseret News at the time. Almost certainly wrote the article about the confrontation between himself and Lippman. September 5th, 1886, Cannon was released from the presiding bishopric and excommunicated after he confessed in public at the traditional Sunday meeting in Salt Lake Tabernacle that he and Louis Wes had committed adultery. We weren't married, it was adultery. If she's not married, it's not adultery if she's not married. Who was her husband? Because it's... he was excommunicated from the pulpit by his uncle, Angus M. Cannon, because Louis Wells was pregnant by Cannon. George Q. instructed Cannon's wife, Ann Wells Cannon, to divorce so that he could marry. What? Oh. Yeah, family proclamation time here. Oh, dear God. Seriously, George? So, yeah, his wife, so he was married. So it's still not adultery if the woman's not married. Anyway, George is telling him that he needs to divorce his wife so that he can marry this other woman who's now pregnant with... What about the kids and the other... What a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Okay. Wait a minute. Did I stray? Yes, I did. Carrying on. Albert Carrington, apostle and member of the quorum of the 12 apostles and first presidency of the church. So what did you do? Excommunication and readmission. Okay. Was excommunicated in 1885 for adultery, fornication, practicing polygamy. They had to make examples of people. Lewd and lascivious conduct. And of course they won't tell us what that was. Extramarital relationships had begun in England while he was mission president. He's just following Brigham Young's example, guys. Come on, give him a break. He hid these relationships from the leaders. No, he didn't hide them. Like King Noah. King Noah did all sorts of wickedness, so the people said, hey, if he can do it, so can we. This is what happens when you do bad things, people, when you're a leader of the church. What? We got porn here. Porn alert. Porn alert. In 1885, Carrington argued before the 12 that because he did not, inside the woman he had sexual relations with, he had technically not committed adultery. Good point. And if she wasn't married, you also had another point. He had simply committed a little folly in Israel. Why is nobody making these jokes? I just committed a little folly in Israel, Bishop. The quorum disagreed and excommunicated him. But he was rebaptized 2 years later. He was not reinstalled as an apostle. On his deathbed, he was allowed to be ordained an elder. Yay, buried in temple robes. Not good enough, you have to be a high priest. Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm just committing a little folly in Israel, Bishop. Oh man. The first 7 presidents for Benjamin Lynn Clapp. This is great history, guys. This is awesome. Oh man. So yeah, 70. Do I dare go on to this one to find out how he got the clap? Alpheus Cutler. I know about him. Yeah, this was right after, the Cutlerite Church. The Church of Jesus Christ called the Cutlerites because of John Alpheus Cutler. Yeah, this is he's interesting. He's the one that said that Joseph Smith told him to look for a sign in the heavens before starting up the church again. And and so when he split from Brigham Young, that's what he was talking about, and waited until he saw the sign that he thought was it, and it wasn't it, which led to some interesting things that have happened in our late day and time. All right, John Edward Ed Decker, counterculture apologist and evangelist, known for his controversial, again with the wording, guys, stop it. Just say he's known for his studies, books, and public presentations concerning the church. That's all you had to say. Instead, they had to put in controversial, negative aspects, perceived negative aspect, perceived even. You don't have to put perceived. And there's John Dehlin. Oh man, this guy's a demon, isn't he, guys? John Parkinson Dehlin. Well, he is a psychologist, isn't he? Sorry, John. You've never emailed me back. He does not understand. I'm the cause of 11 million Mormons saying, I'm out. Do you not understand, guys? Because of the involvement I had in communication with farms before 2000, they then realized in 2008 that I was a potential threat that was going to expose them. And so, 2011, Gospel Topic Essays, Translation and Historicity of the Book of Abraham. And oops, there they go. So, yeah, John Dehlin may have 100,000 view or subscribers, but yeah, nothing compared to 11 million. And I'm the unknown cause. Church will never admit it was because of me. Stephen Hurd Fales, classically trained playwright and actor. Okay, so he was excommunicated because he was gay. Confessions of a Mormon Boy. Yeah. Sensitivity training alert. Antonio A. Feliz. See, all the church had to do is say, well, you do understand that as gay, if you do not get married in this lifetime, you won't be going to the highest degree of the celestial kingdom. You'll be going to another kingdom, and there's no reason for you to be a member of this church then. Oh yeah, I understand. Okay, just as long as we're all in understanding here. That's all the church has to do. That's it. But no. Oh, you're gay? You can't be gay. That's a sin. You need to be punished. Okay, so Feliz, same thing. Wanted to serve the spiritual needs of gay, lesbian, LGBTQ plus guys. That's all you needed to put. John E. Forsgren. Mormon pioneer and missionary, first missionary to Sweden. And why is he excommunicated? Let us find out. He served in the Mormon battalion, went to Scandinavia, later life and excommunication. Settled in Brigham City, lived in Moroni, Santaquin, where that crazy psycho religious fanatic blew up the spaceship on the movie Contact. Santaquin, Utah, guys. Watch it. It's an awesome movie. And Dover. But yeah, okay. 1879, excommunicated for proclaiming himself to be a prophet and denouncing Brigham Young. Well, good for you. More power to you. What happened? He referred to himself as John J. Branch. What? What are you doing? Don't go psycho. Just say Brigham Young's false. That's all you had to do. He became regarded as an eccentric, again with the words, and ridiculed in the desert. See, the church is anti-critic. They're hostile to critics, and I'm evidence of that. Is the bench prophet. After his tent burned down, who burned down his tent? It's not telling us who burned down his tent. Moved to Idaho with his daughter. There's a lot of information about this that's not being told. Alright, Walter M. Gibson. American adventurer, government minister in the Kingdom of Hawaii. Fascinating people here. Why are we attacking them? I'm going to have to take a pause here in a couple of minutes. Or maybe we should just stop here with A through F's. Yeah, we'll do that. A through F.